say to have a successful channel, you have to have a trailer about my content and what I do here.
My security cannot be breached. I'm on a level that cannot be reached. My occupation is to teach, not preach. A piece I watch for the police and the caprice. When the tire streets, no higher, I'm a wire. My desire, get the money till it dry. Filthy wash and spend it out the dryer. I'm a survivor, supplier. Work to get you higher. Could be the bars or the jars till I retire. Could be the R's or the R's, but I'm a rider.
I just make videos to make you laugh. I do it because I love it. I love that new video. That's it. I wish I had some funny little stuff to tell you and some crazy stuff to perform for you right now, but I don't. I'm just here to let you know that if you watch my channel, I'm sure you find something to enjoy. I think I'm funny. I've been told I'm funny. I don't really know. I guess that'll be left up to you. Let me know if I'm funny. Let me know if you enjoy what I do. I guess I'll keep doing it. I'll do it anyway. I don't really care what you think. Should I say that? I shouldn't say that. Regardless. Hey, welcome to my channel. Enjoy.
Mercury and me is like the Panther Party and Huey P. And I'm a cheap.
Hey, what's up, everybody? What's up? What's up? What's up? How are you? Welcome to the Madam Whiplash channel. I'm going to put the link into one of my dear friends, childhood friends. That's West Oblivion. And I just found out he had a channel. So I said, you know what? I'm going to go live and introduce his channel to you. Man, a couple of years ago, I went through my VHS tapes because I had in 87, I had worked like a year and a half and I saved up to buy this video camera, right? So I finally bought it February of 1987. That video camera cost me $1,100. And I had so much footage on videotapes. And one videotape, I had West Oblivion, Lawrence Cobb, and I think it was Wes's nephew. They did this rap song that they wrote, did the whole song from soup to nuts. And I recorded this performance. It was excellent. And so I was talking with Wes on Facebook. I said, you know what? I got that on tape. I got you. He didn't even remember this. So he wanted to see it really bad. I spent like 2 weeks looking for this footage. I went through all my VHS tapes and I got everything on VHS that I can think of that was committed to my memory. I could not find this VHS tape. And after 2 years of looking for it, it dawned on me what happened to this tape. And it wasn't just that particular footage. It was a whole lot of different footage of different things with my friends, myself, family. And me, myself, I'm very meticulous. You know, my mother taught us how to take care of your things and be organized and know where things are at all times where you can find it in the dark. And that's just how I am. So I couldn't understand why I could not find this particular VHS tape. And then recently it dawned on me what happened to it. Later, yeah, about a year later, I only had that video camera for a year. It was a Sony. And what happened? My brother sold it for crack. Sold my video camera for crack. And the reason why I don't have that VHS tape, because it had to have been in the video camera when my brother sold it for crack. That thing just upsets me so much. Because he probably sold it for like $20. And you know, y'all just don't know how much overtime I put in. It took me a long time to save up $1,100 to go and get this video camera. And anyway, that's what happened to the tape. Just some fantastic footage and video. Just Jesus Christ. Anyway, so Wes introduced his channel and he was like, I got 885 friends on Facebook. Let's see how many subs I can get on my YouTube channel. And so I went and gave him a shout out in the comment section. He didn't know who I was by the name of Madam Whipass, so I had to tell him. And he was like, well, I don't know you by the name Madam Whipass, so enlighten me. Who are you? So when I told him, he was like, oh, okay, interesting name you chose. How you got that name? Well, I wasn't about to type out how I got this name in the comment section. So I told him I'll make a video and talk about it. All right, so it is about 1993. And see, 1993, how old was I? About 20. Yeah, about 26 years old, right? 25 or something. Was it 93? No, it was 90. Nope. Sorry, 1990. So I'm 23. And my hairdresser, I went to go get my hair done one day, and she was busy and she had some chick in the chair. So I'm standing up there talking to the hairdresser while she's doing this chick's hair. And throughout the course of the conversation, the hairdresser and the chick is telling me that the chick in the chair is a dominatrix. Hey, Malcolm. So I didn't know what a dominatrix was. Yeah. Or maybe it was just me, but I think I could speak for a lot of people in my generation. There was a lot of stuff that we didn't know that even 10-year-olds know about today. And so the lady told me that, she beats old white men for money. So in my naive man, I thought, she just beats the shit out of old white men and they pay her, she fight them and shit. So I was like, for money, how much? And she was like $200, $300. I said, you beat up old white men and they pay you $300? I said, for $300, I'll drop an old white man and kick him in the throat. So they started laughing. I said, just call me Madam Whipass. And they fell out. Ever since then, they started calling me Madam Whipass. So that's how the name Madam Whipass came about. So most people, when they hear it, naturally, they connect it to, hey, Jay Hoskins, to being a dominatrix. Rightfully so, why wouldn't you think that? But no, I created something else out of the name Madam Whipass. And it's not about being a dominatrix at all, but more so about being a truth teller and being a very strong individual in their thoughts and standing in their truth, whether it be right or wrong, but you stand in it, even if you are wrong, until you know better. Because when you know better, you do better. So that is what the name I would like to be synonymous, or the thought or the idea to be synonymous with the name of Madam Whipass. But if someone initially hears Madam Whipass and their thoughts go directly to being a dominatrix, that's okay too. What else can you expect? But it's up to me to expose something different in a positive light, of course. So hey Wes, how you doing? You on StreamYards? You should I'm gonna put the link, and I don't know if you know about StreamYards. I'm sure you do, because you're very savvy in terms of technology. So click the link if you're on StreamYards, and you can come on in. I'll cook you up and we'll have an interview. Anyway, Wes has always been a funny individual. I mean, really, why he was never on Saturday Night Live or done anything like that, I don't know. His life is even funny to me. And I say that because, if I'm not mistaken, I think he was the only child. And I remember his mom, a real nice, cool lady. And, she had her little Wes, her only child. I bet she never thought in her wildest years that this one little baby gonna give her 10 grandchildren. But I don't know. That's just so funny to me. And I think that's just so Wes. Anyway, if he can click on down, I don't know if you know about StreamYard, you probably do, but if you don't, you go Google StreamYard. It takes seconds to get online with StreamYard. And like YouTube has all these rules that they've just made. Like, you used to be able to go live from your phone, anytime you felt like it. But now you got to have 1,000 subs at least to go live from your phone. But if you go live from StreamYard, it doesn't matter how many subs you have. You can just go live. Just in case you didn't know. Just in case you didn't know. So I know he doesn't mind, but I found his channel this morning. And so what we're going to do, we're going to go explore some of his videos. I played his introduction to his channel video. And let me see. What's a good one? And I saw in the introduction, a deer got hit. I can't imagine him being live and hit a deer. Really?
I'm going to make a confession tonight. I do not like pizza. That may be strange to some of you, and so to others it might be completely acceptable, but I don't like pizza. Now, allow me to explain. As a young man, I had a severe case of eczema. And when I ate citric acid, it affected my hands and gave me a horrible rash where my skin would crack and peel and bleed. I don't act like some of y'all ain't got some nasty rashes out there either. See how y'all all get all judgmental? Cut it out. Cut it out. And it would get so severe if I continued to eat citric acid, it would spread up my arms, to my middle of my arms, maybe a little bit further. Never really got that bad because I would stop eating citric acid. This caused me to have a disliking towards tomato sauce, which is associated directly with pizza. And it was very difficult not to eat pizza because growing up on 42nd Street, you got a slice of pizza that was big as your head for $1. Now, the times that you frequented 42nd Street to go watch karate movies, because they had karate movies up there for 3 of them for $3, you'd be in there all day smoking, chilling. All right, so I smoke. Okay, stop. Anyway, let's stick on point, stay on point, focus. It was hard to stay away from eating pizza, but I did. After a while, I just grew up not really liking it, not eating too much lasagna, too much spaghetti. So let's fall fast. I have this big family. Now you have to think how often you have pizza with that many children. Almost anything that the kids are involved with, let it be dance, let it be soccer, let it be cross, let it be football, let it or play, or any type of service where you're helping to play, doing the costumes, doing anything that you're serving pizza. Okay, and then in my household, we having pizza every Friday night. She go and grab one. We got Little Caesars, we got Pizza Hut, we got Domino's, we got Papa John's, we got pizza. We got the grocery store pizza. Every opportunity that there was to be served pizza, they serve pizza. I go pick up my kids from somebody's house. Hey, Wes, you want a pizza? Don't you see it? Don't offer me no pizza. I don't want no pizza. Now, don't get me wrong. I've been seen eating pizza because I'm greedy. I'm hungry. There's one pizza I'm not going to front. I bought it and I will eat it. There's one pizza I will eat, but it's not really pizza. It's not. It's got buffalo chicken and ranch on it. So it looks like a pizza, but it's not. It's not. I don't bring it. It's not pasta. It's chicken and ranch. Not a chicken. The ranch ain't good for you neither, but who cares about that when you eating, right? I mean, you eating healthy? Stop it. So anyway, pizza. If I never see a pizza again, it'd be too soon. Yeah. Now, if I'm that hungry, I'm gonna take a slice. I'm not eating the crust neither. Y'all ain't getting no stuffed crust anyway. Y'all ain't getting that. Y'all get the cheap pizza. Here you go. Happy. You got the stuffed crust. I might dip it a couple of times and chow down. Over the next, chula. Give it right to the dog. My wife catching though, and she, I'm like, hey, she don't sound like that. Don't get in trouble. She don't sound like that. I was trying to be funny. I digress. I give it to the dog, or I throw it away, or maybe she'll eat it, one of the kids, but I'm not eating it. I've made enough effort eating that part of the pizza that I was eating. You should be happy with that. If you like I said that, you should be happy with that.
You talking about Oscar?
Anyway. I don't like pizza. I don't know how you feel about pizza. I don't think it's relevant right now. It's not going to change anything about how I feel about pizza. But you at least understand how I feel about pizza. So as friends, if I'm coming over, you can have pizza. Just have something different for me. And if that's too much to ask, just let me know you're having pizza before I get there. I'm eating before I get there. Unless you're having that pizza I talked about, then we good peoples. I mess with you. If you ain't gonna have my kind of pizza, I'm make me suspect. Like you saw this video, right? You knew. Yeah, you knew I didn't like that kind of. You know I didn't like pizza, right? And you still had that. So let that be known. Good boy, I'm Ghost.
Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's, nigga.
What?
What? Wow. Papa John's, nigga. Okay. He don't like pizza. Let's see this one.
I don't really know how to start this story. Bad parenting moment, whatever. And that's not this type of video. So if you have any comments on parenting, send them to I don't care, leave me alone at gmail.com. But regardless. So, when your kids get older, they start to think they know some stuff. They start to smell themselves, right? So I'm going to take this story back. I'm going to say, I don't know, 12 years, 13 years, something like that. Maybe. No, that's too long. 7 years, 8 years. I'm not sure. When I edit this video, I'll put the actual date. But this is when the older boys were young. This is West Shaw and Jules. So they're smelling themselves. They're coming at me. And they've been coming at me for quite some time now. Talking about, we want to watch a scary movie. I'm like, listen, y'all don't want to watch scary movies because it puts images in your mind that's not there. So when you're in the dark or you're in a creepy place, you can the images you think take form instead of you just being scared because you don't know what's out there. You're afraid now because you've seen a creature or something because it has a form. So I said, you don't want to watch that. You're not ready. Well, they didn't listen as far as I was concerned. They kept, we wouldn't be scared and we were trying to give me little reasons why they should be able to watch one. So we happened to be in Kentucky at a performance and, they can continue to bother me and I started to get ticked off. Like, you know what? You want to watch a scary movie? Okay. So that night at the hotel, we was watching, it was 4th of July and it was 4th of July, right? Right. So.
You're talking about quarantine?
Yeah.
I didn't even watch that.
I know. So you're ruining the story. Okay. So anyway, that's why you never have people. So anyway,
You didn't tell me.
I take out the movie. It's called Quarantine, and the movie is about people contracting rabies, and it gets serious. And I had watched it, and it was scary, but not scary to me. But I knew it had some scary parts, out of nowhere, and people were turning, getting rabies, foaming at the mouth, going crazy, and the CDC came in and quarantined the building, locked it down, wouldn't even let the police out. Like nobody's coming out of there because you got rabies. Yo, it was scary. They were scared. So I put it on for the first half hour or so. It starts to build up. Well, Jules here is like, you know what? He knows Dad. He's like, you know what? I'm not watching. And he got up and left. Well, to this day, Shaw and West say that's the scariest movie they ever seen. Like, and it don't scare them anymore. It's just the repercussions from what they watched when they were a kid. The stigmas in their mind.
I
It's
watched the movie, scariest movie I've ever seen in my life. I was like, oh yeah?
So they didn't watch it. Right. He left.
I'm not.
Now forward fast, I don't take my own advice.
I didn't sleep either.
They were scared to death that night. Yo, I got in trouble. I got in trouble. Oh yeah, Karen was like, you let them watch that? Now it had curse words in it. And again, if you have parenting advice for me, send it to I don't care, leave me alone gmail.com, because that's not this kind of video. But Karen leaned on me like, you let them watch it. And again, it had a couple of curse words in there, but my mom used to curse around the kids. I mean, I don't want them walking around life thinking there's no curse words that doesn't exist. Not to say that they should be watching it. You know what? I'm not even going there. That's not the point. So back up off me. What I'm saying is I didn't take my own advice, right? So grown man. Now, y'all know I've been to prison, robberies, tattoos. I cheated. Yo, I put on a scary movie. And I don't usually watch scary movies because, again, Karen doesn't really like them at all. There's a creature in there or something, that's cool. But she don't like those spiritual, demon and all that stuff. She's done into that. And she's kind of got me out of it. But one night she was gone. Couldn't really find nothing. So I was like, yo, let me watch this. This Mama. Somebody told me about it. So I put on Mama. It had some creepy, that kind of stuff. Like, there was a couple of scenes which, this movie is about a ghost, a creature woman raising kids. Like, you'd have to watch it. It doesn't make sense when I say it, but to see it is kind of like, and then the way it's creepy. Let me tell you something. Grown man, like, I turned the light on. Well, the light was off when I started watching it. By the time I got towards the middle, the light was on. You know what I mean? And just to make sure that I followed through like a man did, I watched it all. It creeped me out, but as a man, I had to watch it all. But bro, Mama, it might not scare you. It might not. It might not. But for me, I was kind of like, you turn that light on. Leave that light on. Yeah, Mama, peep that. Let me know. Let me know. But if it's about parenting, don't let me know. Or send it to I don't care, leave me alone at gmail.com. So anyway, don't let your kids watch scary movies unless your pops like me who's like, you don't want to listen to me. You can learn by a mistake. You can make your own mistake there. I tried to tell you, don't do it. Jules, he didn't watch it.
It still ruined my life. I didn't sleep the entire trip. I watched it enough to ruin my life, and I was like, I'm out. I hate this.
Jules ain't watching.
And I sat in the other room like, I hate my life. I hate the entire night. I'm seeing things that don't exist. Staring at the doors.
I told him. So I may get a follow-up if I would get Shaw and West around, and they'll tell you how they feel about the movie. But it's the movie Quarantine. If your kids think they tough, show them that. You watch it. Let me know.
Horrible.
Or don't let me know. It don't matter.
In one of those videos, I think the first one about pizza, he mentioned 40 Deuce and Kung Fu movies. And it just triggered a memory. I had some footage. Oh, I'm so pissed off. It was Wes, Larry, and Brett. They were doing Kung Fu movies. So one was doing the voiceover. It was hysterical. They were standing there. You see all three of them. One is doing the voiceover, and the other two who were doing the kung fu fighting, you know how you watch them kung fu movies with the voiceover and how they be talking, they'll match with the voiceover. What they just created that. I just remember it being so funny. I'm still pissed off that tape is gone. Where y'all going? Do y'all have a mask?
It's in the car. I can use this.
Okay. You got hand sanitizer?
Yes, in the car.
All right. Don't talk to strangers. All right. And put some gloves on when you're touching stuff. Oh, Lord. Teenagers. But they can't be cooped up in the house all the time. Poor boo-boos. I feel so bad for them. But anyway, yeah, so I don't know. That triggered a memory. I'm watching this video in my mind right now when they was doing that kung fu skit. Oh man, I wish I had it. Anyway, so that is West Oblivion. I have put the link to his channel in the chat. And also, he just might be busy. That's why he hasn't come on. But go ahead and sub to this channel. I'm sure you will enjoy it. Look at the equipment he has. Oh my goodness. And his videos look wonderful. Well, one day when I got time, I'm going to go live like that and do some videos and stuff. But it does take a lot of time. And, you got to know what you're doing. And I'd have a lot of learning to do with all of that. I used to be deep into technology and up on the latest stuff. Learning to do with all of that. I used to be deep into technology and up on the latest stuff. Learning to do with all of that. I used to be deep into technology and up on the latest stuff.
I gotta get headphones. Let me get some headphones. I gotta get headphones.
There I go. I'm here. Do you hear me? You ain't gonna see me.
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, great. Don't worry about looking for me. Hold on, that you ain't gonna see me. It's so good to see you. Welcome to the YouTube world.
Yeah. I've been here a long time.
Oh, really? How come just now finding out about you?
Because I've never done me before. It was always about the praise warriors, my kids. And once they got older and moved into different aspects, they quit. So I had nothing to do with all my creativity. So I started doing this.
Oh, tell me more about your kids. They were the praise warriors. Do tell.
Yeah.
What was that?
Okay. That's a long conversation.
I got time.
After I got out of prison, and I returned home, because when I was incarcerated, I gave my life to Christ, became a Christian, and I came home, and my children were trying to bond with me. We're trying to find common ground, grow together, learn together. And I'm not I don't play basketball. I didn't have a trade. So there was not a whole lot to share with them. So because of my history in music, I realized I would do music with them. So
yeah,
we started to do Christian rap. And at the time, I started to realize Christian rap isn't going to be very helpful. Just memorize cute little stuff to rap about Jesus. So I thought it'd be better to teach them Bible verses. So we created a genre called script hop, where they set Bible. There's a kid behind me. Oh, that's Cheyenne. Hey, come here, Cheyenne. Just show your face. So this is Cheyenne.
Hi, Cheyenne.
She's saying hi, but you can't hear her. Anyway, this is one of my daughters, my only daughter that was a member of the Praise Wars before they got older. She's 20 now.
Still does music.
She's the only one that still does music.
Tell Cheyenne I knew you since you was a teenager.
Okay, she says she remembers you from when you were a teenager. So
I talk about you.
Me. Yeah, me. I'm sorry. Anyway, so we went on with the project. We had minimal success because I'm not very knowledgeable in business, but my main concern was to get the word of God into their hearts and to have them understand the Bible and what I needed them to learn. We did a couple of albums. They performed quite a bit for years and years. I think about 10, 15 years. We performed and went various places, and then they got older. And my oldest boy, Wesley, my oldest boy by my marriage, Wesley, got married and had a kid. And my other two sons, Paul and Julian, They moved out, and Cheyenne is 20, but she's still here in college. But they just decided they didn't really want to do music anymore. And I felt as though we accomplished what we needed to. We built a bond, we grew together. I taught them how to sing and rap and dance and perform. And because they were homeschooled, I wanted to make sure that they had the social skills to go out and be confident and to talk to people and not be sheltered and weird. And it worked out well. So after Wes was the first one to bow out because he's like, Dad, I'm married and I got a kid and I got to work and I can't really do this like you did. And I said, listen, I'm not disappointed, upset. I'm very thankful in what we've done and the bonds that we have made. And you can go on with your life, man. Thank you. The only way you could disappoint me is by leaving your wife and kid. Other than that, we've done wonders. And it has built a great relationship with my sons and my daughter and I, to the point where they're kind of like my best friends. I only hang out with my kids. I don't have much of a life. We still have 8 kids still in the house. If you don't know, I had 2 children before I married my wife, and then I married her, and we have 9, and then we adopted 2 more. So the house is full.
Oh, I didn't know you adopted.
Yeah, I got 2 other kids that we've taken in, and we've had them about a year now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Y'all love kids, huh?
No. That's just what the Lord has called us to. So because of my immaturity and the silliness I like to do, it works well for the children.
Yeah,
and,
I bet.
And my wife is an educator and a nurturer, so she homeschools the children, and we're blessed. The children we have are far better than I could ever imagine. They're wonderful children, and we have so much fun with them. And they're very teachable, very outgoing kids, and life is good. Life is good. Hey, some of you kids, come here. Let's see how many I can get in here, fit on the screen. Hey, come here. Let's see what happens. Okay, that's Brooklyn.
Hey, Brooklyn.
And this is Rafe.
Hi.
Hi.
And let's see who else comes in behind me. That's Cade.
Hi, Cade.
All right, move. All right, that's Dorian.
Dorian.
That's Jasmine.
Hi, Jasmine.
Who's left?
They can hear
There's
me.
Vaughn.
Hey, Vaughn.
That's everybody. Oh, there's Lissy. Wait a minute. Lissy.
That little tiny one.
That's the little Lissy. That's the tiny one.
Hi, Lissy.
So those are, and you saw Cheyenne. So those are all the kids that are still in the house. All right, thank you guys. Oh, and here's my wife back here. I don't know where she is. Where's my wife?
Right here.
And that's my wife.
Hey, Karen. I'm an old friend of Wes. We're childhood friends from way back in East Elmhurst.
She's a childhood friend from East Elmhurst.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So
Nice to meet you.
that's my gang. She said it was nice to meet you. They can't hear you, but anyway.
Yeah.
So, excuse me. So, to end the story, after that, I actually went to school and learned video editing just to do the Praise Warriors. I built this little studio to record them, and they are no more. So,
Wow.
Cheyenne, my daughter, still sings, beautiful voice, and we're working on her material now. And I'm just doing me because I have the creativity, and I just like doing it. So I just do my videos. That's it.
Hey, I'm just not surprised that you had children and you had them involved in praise, worship, and all this thing and being creative musically, because that's what you were doing when I met you.
Yeah.
And you were fire back then. You should have very well been going on tour with who was hot then, Eric B. and Rakim. We knew all of them.
No, thank God I didn't. Thank God I didn't.
Really? Why?
Yeah, I was a terrible whore, very selfish. I would have never laid the roots that I have now. I would have never been the man I am now. No.
Really?
I thank God for God saying no to many things in my life. Yeah.
I know the doors of opportunity were open and available to you.
No, not really, because I would never focus. I was too busy being a whore, getting high, hanging out, trying to be fly. I never sat down and did the business aspect. I never studied. I would have just been a dirty whore. I'd probably died of AIDS or something.
Damn, Yeah, go on. See, you're jarring my memory about that video that I lost. In that video, you and Larry were having an argument because y'all were teaming up. Y'all, was a group, and y'all were arguing. And Larry was no, Larry wasn't doing much because you was like, I write the songs, I create the music. It was this funniest argument, but y'all was serious at the same time. It was a real argument, but it was hilarious too for some reason.
Yeah, we don't speak anymore.
Oh.
Yeah, we are no longer friends.
That's unbelievable to me.
Yeah, it's unbelievable to most people, but yeah, we are no longer friends. He did some really, really nasty stuff. Yeah, instead of, and it's a long details, and I don't feel like going into it. He had some very discouraging things to say about my family, my wife, my children. I mean, he went hard.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Yeah, it's this. Well, and the problem was how long we had been friends for him to know me that well, to do those things and think that there would be an opportunity to reconcile, but I can't trust him. Yeah, it was bad. So our friendship has been terminated for about 2 years now, maybe 3.
I had no idea.
Hey, you wouldn't. No, that's not something that I would share with too many people. But you have a deep history with us, so people like you, I would have to let you know that, because I've had all the East Elmhurst friends like, yo, what's up with him? What's up with that? And I'm like, let me tell you. I mean, he went down. He called me a sellout. He said all kind of stuff about then, okay, I'm gonna give you one tidbit that changed everything. In regards to us having our problem, he went on social media and changed, because he was an administrator I was trying to get him involved in what I was doing because he was my best friend.
Yeah.
So I had him as an administrator on my children's Facebook group page.
Wow.
He went on Facebook and changed my children's group name from Praise Warriors to Republicans on Welfare.
What?
Yeah, because my wife is a Republican, and when I got out of prison, we were on food stamps until I could get myself, back into the workforce and generate the money. So for the first 3 years after I returned home, we were on welfare, and he knew that. He took that information and made it public, and he changed my children's Facebook group page to Republicans on Welfare. Now, what did my children have to do with any problem that he and I were having? My children and their Christian Facebook page. Whoa. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. He said he was going to erase me, like my blackness was disappearing. I was a sellout. I mean, he went hard. He called my kids racist. He called my wife racist. I was like, and from what place do you stand to call me a sellout? Like, what if I act like I was anything other than who I am? Never have. My wife, racist, she stuck by me while I was in prison and had 9 of my children. Yeah, it was nasty. So I had to terminate our relationship, and I've never spoke to him since.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I seen pictures of y'all, from the early days and everything. It's such a beautiful family. I enjoy watching y'all and, the things you would share about your children. And, I watched them grow up for the past few years on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
I have to say, I'm just so proud of you. How is your mom doing?
My mom, she has Alzheimer's. She doesn't know who anybody is. She doesn't talk. She hasn't spoken in about 3 years. She hasn't spoken, but she's in good health. She's being taken care of extremely well. my brother and my sister-in-law have my mother-in-law, my mother in their house, and they take care of her. I mean, to the point where there is no worries or questions on our end. Like she's well taken care of. So unfortunately, she doesn't talk at all, and she doesn't know who anybody is. But she laughs and smiles every so often, and
Yeah.
it's okay. She's all right.
Yeah. I didn't know you had a brother. At least I don't remember. So in the beginning of the video, I was saying, I remember your mom very clearly.
Yeah.
And I always thought you always just seemed like the only child. I don't know why.
Well, I can tell you why. The reason that you would think I'm an only child, because my sister is 7 years older than me, and my brother is 6 years older than me. So they were grown and gone when I met you.
Oh, okay, yeah. So that's why I thought you was the only child, and I was like, leave it to Wes to be the only child and give his mom 10 grandchildren.
No. So my sister is here in Maryland. She's the reason I moved here, to be closer to her and my niece and nephew, who are 39, 38, and 40 now. But I've been here almost 20. I don't know how many years. I've been here a long ass time. But my sister's here with her kids, and my brother, father, mother. My father's remarried. He's in Virginia Beach. My brother's in Virginia Beach. My niece by my sister is in Virginia Beach. So they're all there.
You're all pretty much close, kind of.
So my sister and I are real close. I see her every so often because she lives about 5 miles away. And my brother is one of my biggest advocates. He's upset when I stopped having kids, because my wife wanted to keep having kids, and I told her no, and I got fixed. I didn't want any more kids. And my brother was upset with that. Like, come on, man. And he's one of my biggest supporters when it comes to my videos. He's always calling me like, when's the next video drop? You need to keep going. You're going to be on TV. You're going to blow up. And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not. I only do it because it's one of my passions.
But you know what? I saw that for you back then in the 80s. I saw that for you like I don't know what. It just didn't materialize.
Yeah, no. And I thank God it didn't. I would not. And it's going to sound weird, but thank God for prison. I'm thankful for prison. It gave me an opportunity to reflect on my responsibilities as a man, as a father, as a husband, as a son, as an uncle. And I'm glad I didn't get fame and fortune.
Sometimes, God got to sit you down so you can finally shut up and listen. Oh, I've been there. And it's so much easier if somebody comes and tells you about Christ.
Yeah.
It's so much easier to accept him and go that route.
Yeah.
The last thing you want is the Lord to give you an ass whooping.
Absolutely. And the worst thing for me in my prison time was just watching my wife struggle. That was the biggest issue. She was struggling trying to raise the kids, because when I got incarcerated, I had 4 children with her. And I had already abandoned my daughter from New York many years before, and I never acknowledged my daughter in Germany. So they didn't even know of my daughter in Germany's existence because I didn't share that. So I'm in prison, and my wife is working, homeschooling, and visiting me every week. And I just really got tired of her being more man than me. So I came home and I reclaimed my family, and I reclaimed my position as leader of this household. And we've been moving forward ever since. And God has been setting my path before me, and I just shut up and do what I'm told. And
wow, you have come a long way. And I'm looking behind you in your background. I'm like, the Lord has really blessed them.
Yeah. I've done a lot of stuff. I wish I could span the room and show you, but I've been blessed. And mainly because I've been given a really wonderful woman. My wife is, she let me tell you, I left her before prison. I left her, moved out, was with my girlfriend and all that. And my wife said, I'll wait. I went to prison. When I got locked up, my wife said, I'll wait. I got sentenced to 6 years. You know what my wife said? I'll wait. She said, I'll wait till you come home. The Lord will take care of things. I'm going to trust him to take care of you.
Wow.
You know what she told me the whole time I was incarcerated? I want to have your children. She had 4. I left her and I was incarcerated. She said she wanted to have my children. So after that, I told her, you have nothing to fear from me. I'm going to come home and do what I got to do. And I've been home now. I got released late 2003. And I've been home since then. And we've moved 2 houses since then. I've made more money. We have this big house and all these children. And I'm going to continue till my eyes close to do what God has me do, raise my family, and love my wife. Yeah.
You know, I guess the Lord had told her, and she was confident in his word that you are her husband.
Yep.
And that's why she was like, okay, you done moved out with another chick. I'll wait.
Yep.
Oh, you locked up now after you moved out with another chick? What, you got 6 years? I'll wait.
Yep.
You know, you ain't going nowhere. I got to do what the Lord says. I'll wait.
Yep.
And to somebody standing on the outside, they be like, is that woman mentally ill?
Yes.
Or they'll go through that whole thing. Yeah, he can only do that to a white woman.
Yes.
Only a white woman will put up with that.
Mhm.
No, sometimes the Lord is in the midst.
You don't know how many times I heard that. Well, why couldn't you do it with a sister? I was like, that's not who God put in my life. I can't just disregard who was put in my life for a purpose. And then it's, only a white woman. I'm like, there's black women that have gone through all that garbage with black men, gone through that. All women go through certain things. Then I was told, I know why you married a white woman, because they do everything you tell them. I was like, no, that's not how that works either.
That's not the kind of white woman you got.
That ain't the kind of white woman I got. That's it.
I bet you that sometimes she was that white woman like that, right?
No, my wife is not going for the okie doke. So that's one of the main reasons that she stood, stands, and continues to do so. And our relationship has done nothing but grow and prosper. And we've been able to bless many families. We've been able to do quite a few things with these children and ministries. We speak at Angel Tree, which is a program that delivers gifts to families whose parents are incarcerated. And we've been able to share our testimony and story. We've shared our testimony and story on her YouTube channel. Not pretty much mine, because mine is pretty much for jokes. But, we've shared, and we continue to. Karen is doing a Bible study online on Facebook while this quarantine is going on. And, we're blessed, and we're not afraid to share. I've met a lot of people that like, Jesus, that white hair, that white man. And I'm like, where does it say that in the Bible? What are we talking about? And I make a good conversation out of it, but I don't battle anybody. I don't get into a big argument about it, because God don't need me to fight his battles. I just stand firm and I enjoy my life. I'm gonna tell you something, Lena. After you knew me and I was in Left Rack, I switched my life up, and I was doing thug stuff, and I was trying to be a gangster. And after prison, I realized that's just not me. That's not who I am. I'm a silly guy, funny. I'm humorous, and I can think deep, but my side of life is more funny and acting crazy. And I embraced it, and that's why you see that stuff on the videos. I embraced it, and I'm a funny person, and I prefer to be funny and make people laugh.
Yeah, that's you. That's always been you. And I don't think you could change even if you wanted to.
I tried.
You tried. Okay.
And it didn't work out well. So in my changing, once I returned home, well, I was incarcerated, and I reached out to the kids that I abandoned, and the response was ridiculous. Like, they responded like, "Hi, Dad. Good to hear from you. Can't wait to see you." And I'm shocked. Like, "I'm sorry, I abandoned you. I wasn't there for you." And they're like, "We don't know anything about that. Good to hear from you, Dad. Can't wait to see you."
Wow.
Yeah. My daughters, I have a daughter in New Orleans. She's about 28. She's Hispanic. She's Dominican. And then I have a daughter born and raised in Germany. I got her mom pregnant here, and then her mom went back to Germany. And I met her when she was about 14. And she's been coming back ever since. I talk to her almost every day. She snaps me every day what's going on in Germany? How am I doing? Am I wearing my mask? And my daughter in Germany, she's criticizing me because I posted an Instagram video about me coming down on the lift with all my coworkers and they started coughing. Well, she wrote back like, "That's not funny," and I was like, "Oh, should I erase that video? I don't want to accept you." She's like, "No, but it's not funny." I was like, "Okay, sorry." Because my desire is not to piss my daughters off after the kindness and love they've shown me. So it's like, I don't want to get in trouble with my girls. So
Wow.
life has been good. I'm healthy. I'm getting old and I'm still healthy. I'm thankful.
And you're also very rare because I think the percentage or the statistics is like 90% of relationships that whether they began while someone was incarcerated or even before they became incarcerated, over 90% don't last after incarceration.
I have to give that credit to my wife. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
All that goes to my wife. My wife is not one to walk away. She will not deter. She's a peacemaker and she's in love with me, which is just so weird after all the wrong and the things I've done. That woman will not let go. She won't. And I learned that from her. I learned that our marriage is not disposable. It's not, you can't compromise. We are in this for life. And I learned that from her. I'm not even gonna lie. I can't take credit for things I didn't do. I may take credit for the leadership of this family and for the provisions for working and providing us with money. But when it comes to relational stability and marriage, that's my wife.
Wow.
Yeah. She has taught me a great deal. Like one of my videos is about my better half, and that's talking about my wife. That is my better half. She supports me in everything I do. If I say I want to do this, she's like, "Go get him, babe." If I want to do anything, as long as it's an honest God, I can't rob a bank or nothing. But outside of that, anything I want to do, my wife is like, "Go get him." Yeah.
Wow. And see, I was having a conversation with somebody the other night on their live, and we were talking about, marriage and relationships. And the reason why I'm not married, actually, okay, I was married at one time. I really was. I was married for a whole daggone year. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it because I'm just, I like being alone too much. I like being with me. Like I can come home from work on Friday and not leave my house till Monday morning and have a whole good time by myself the whole weekend.
Okay.
And then it doesn't help that I'm the baby of my family. So I'm spoiled. I always want things my way.
Yeah.
There's no room for compromising.
Yeah.
And I know it's just not a good way to be, not in a marriage. So, I just like the way my life is now.
It's not for everybody. It's just not. Having a bunch of kids is not for everybody. It's just not.
I probably can do the bunch of kids things. I probably could do that. Well, maybe not 10.
Yeah, I never honestly, I never wanted to be married or have any kids at all.
Really?
No, I don't want any kids. But God said, "Shut up. I know what's best for you." And it has been I'm gonna be honest, that's the best things that's ever happened to me. The best decision I've ever made was getting these women pregnant, getting my wife pregnant, and marrying the woman I did. Those are the best things I've ever done.
Wow.
I've made no better choices other than giving my life to Christ. Nothing else I've done has been better. These children have taught me, it's just, I can't even express it.
Wow. And none of your kids have ever been in public school?
No.
Wow.
Mm-mm.
So how does that work, homeschooling? Do they get up every morning like they're going to school, but they go to an area in the house? And how does that happen with the school district? How does that work?
Okay, well, I'll give it to you in a nutshell. you just become a part of an umbrella. Usually it's churches, because most time people homeschool is to use the Christian curriculum or teach them about Jesus, but others don't. There are homeschoolers that have nothing to do with Christianity. But again, you get part of an umbrella, which is like, I hate to use the terminology, but it's like an overseer, so that you can prove that you're teaching them what's necessary, either certain subjects and things that have to be taught, and then they check over to see that you've taught them. So you would purchase the curriculums that you would want to teach your children, and you teach them. And then these overseers overlook the certain documents, certain stuff that you're supposed to teach them, certain tests, and they monitor it over the years. So that way, when your kid graduates, there's a paper trail, so that when they go to college, the transcripts can follow them, and they can say, you have credits in this, you learned this, you learned that, and you're able to go to college, because you don't get a diploma from homeschooling, but you do have a paper trail. Now, my wife can explain it to you far better than I can, but that's my.
Has she done a video about homeschooling?
Not yet. No, not yet. I'm responsible for all of her videos and all that, and she hasn't done that yet.
Well, in the situation that we are in now with this coronavirus and stuff, I'm sure there's a lot of parents who are just confused, because now we're all forced to homeschool. Mm-hmm. So if I can make a request that she do a video about that and help people out, because I have friends who are just like confused. They don't even understand the work that the teachers are giving their child. It's just a whole new thing for them.
Yep. Thank you for saying that. I will definitely do that, because now it's more important than ever. And she's been homeschooling for over 20 years now.
Oh yeah, she needs to do YouTube video after YouTube video after YouTube video and help these people out. Yes. For real.
Yes, because that homeschooling, to me, has been one of the greatest tools for us to be the primary influence in our children's lives. Not the friends, not the teachers, not the bus driver, but their parents. In that regard, after all I've done and all I've learned, as the maturity levels progressed in my children, I was able to share with them all that I've done and all that I know. This enabled my children to grow in a way that they could not make the mistakes that I did. I chose not to tell them the things that I've done wrong when they were doing wrong. I made them conversations when we were just sitting around chilling. And with that, in regards, my children have no babies' mothers, no drug addictions, no criminal charges, no real issues.
So right now you got 2 young adults out the house making their own life.
No, I have 5. My oldest daughter's New Orleans. She's a.
I forgot about the other 2.
She's a. She's in the Teamsters. She's a construction painter.
Oh, okay.
Making lots of money. My daughter in Germany is in college and she's working. No kids, no drugs, no crime. And she's 20. Wes is 25. She's 24. My 25-year-old son, Wesley, he's in college. He works for a church, and he has 1 wife, 1 child, got married a virgin, gave his life. He's a Christian, always been Christian. When he met his wife was his girlfriend. After she learned about him, she went and gave her life to Christ and got baptized as soon as she started dealing with my son.
Wow.
My other 2 sons have moved out. They moved out, I'm going to say, about 10 months ago. Yeah, 10 months ago, they got an apartment together. My one son is he repairs iPods, iPhones, and all kinds of electrical devices. And my other son builds 10-ton trucks from scratch. This one, the sons I'm talking about is 23 and 22.
Wow, they're really close.
And they are productive adults. I'm like, how does a guy like me have so many productive, well-educated, well-mannered, smart children? 1, it's the grace of God, and 2, it's my wife, because it sure ain't me.
Wow. Wow. Which one of your kids do you see the most of you in? None of them? Not one?
I see me in a bad light, and I don't see any of that in my children. I don't like what I see in me, so that's why I stay in that word with the Lord, and I stay in this household in my parameters, because me to myself is I'm a dirty, nasty person, and thankfully through the scriptures and through my wife, I've been able to channel that side of me outside of this house. So it pretty much comes on my coworkers when they piss me off. I don't like me very much. I know I'm funny, so I stay on the funny side. But if I look deep inside me, I'm a thief. I'm a criminal. I'm a liar. I'm a cheater. Ugh.
Yeah, but you haven't done any of that in decades.
But that's because of the Christ that you see. That's God that you see. I hide behind God. I don't. My true me is not out there at all. It's not. The true me is what you see when I'm laughing and joking, and when I remind myself constantly that I'm a Christian, act as such, share the gospel, be the man that God has called me to be. I see glimpses of me and my children the way that I would have wanted to be. Like I see the closeness between my children, how much they hug on me and they spend time around me.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to be with my dad, but he wasn't there.
Right.
And so that's what I see. But as far as my normal nature, that's not around here, and I don't want it around here. I will. Now, my dad, he's cool, and I mess with my dad, but we don't have the relationship that I'm sure he wished we had, and that ain't my fault. I'm like, dude, hey, when I was a kid, you ain't mess with me. I can't change the way my mind works now. So if something goes wrong in my household, I have a problem, I wouldn't call my dad. I'd pretty much call my brother, my sister, and anybody else. My dad would probably have to be called by somebody else. And that's not my fault. That's the relationship he cultivated with me. But I like my dad. He's cool. Like,
Yeah.
I'll hang out with him. But my primary parent was my mom.
Yeah.
And
Sure.
I struggle with that too. I feel bad about my relationship because my mom and I were real tight. But
Mhm.
I'm sure she spent most of her time worrying about me more than anything. And I'm
Yeah.
about that because here I am in this place in my life, and I have all these kids, and I have this mentality in this way. I would like to know that all the hard work and worrying paid off, and that she has what she wanted for me, was for me to be stable and take care of my family. I would just like for her to know that. And people have said, she knows that, and
Yes.
she had moments of clarity in there, and she would see it. But I would just like to know that she gets most of the props for the man that I am. She has always been there. She was a great mom. She's a
Mhm.
great mom.
I know.
Funny story was when she started to slip.
Yeah.
I used to go over every Monday and keep her house clean. I used to do her grocery shopping. So when she started to get really bad, I said I would have to take her in. So my wife and I were contemplating on how to make this move because we had like 7 or 8 kids already. And my brother came up like, hey, man, mom's getting pretty bad. I'm going to have to take her. And I said, well, Karen and I were contemplating taking mom in. And he's like, what, are you crazy? You take care of all the kids. I'll take care of mom.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Yeah. And in a situation like that with a lot of kids, and I know your kids are well behaved and stuff, but older, elderly people and a whole bunch of kids, it's not a good mix. It really isn't.
No, you're right. 100%.
Kids got all this energy and they can be loud because they're being kids.
Yes.
And older people, they can't deal with that anymore.
You're 100% right. You're 100% right. And it was wise on my brother's half to come and see that and take my mom in. And as I said, I had some issues back in the days with my brother foolish issues because I acted like he was supposed to be my parent and he was supposed to do certain things that he was not. But as
Right.
the years went by, we have grew a bond. But after what he's done for my mom, I just bow to his greatness. I'm like,
Yeah.
Jeffrey, the way you do my mom is unbelievable. And he's like, listen, my brother, you do the videos to take care of them kids, baby. I got mom. And him and his wife have been just a joy to me and my family. And it's just enabled our family to grow in ways that I never thought possible. My brother and my sister and I have grown as we getting older. It's getting late in the game, so everything is a little bit more important now. So it's just been good. And then I'll go. Good. What?
I wanted to ask you about your dad. Did he have a relationship with his father? Hmm. So you have broken the cycle.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Mhm.
The cycle has been broken all the way around. Um, my wife's mom is divorced and had to remarry. Her father remarried. Everybody in our circle around us has been remarried, broken, no relationship with children or things of that. Karen and I are amongst the very few that have not been remarried and have all relationships with all the children. Even my children by the other women love my wife, love her. They think she's a saint. They talk to her. They actually talk to her like on the phone more than I talk to them. I talk to my kids on social media. They'll call and talk to Karen. My daughter from Germany actually cried when she was hugging my wife goodbye.
Oh,
God has been just raining his blessings on me, and it's been good.
wow. Well, I know your mom is very proud of you. Trust me, I'm sure she saw the direction you were going before, things
Yeah.
got a little rough for her. And
Yeah.
I know what it's like because I took care of my dad for 4 years. He had
Ah,
Alzheimer's.
okay.
So I definitely get it. And there are times when you think they don't know anything, but they know all things. They're very aware of what's going on. And
True.
then a lot of times the Lord shows them things.
Yeah.
I really believe. In fact, I know this. Will show them things, and so
Good.
they know. They know. She
I
knows.
would hope. I would hope so, because I was the worst. I was the worst, and not to her, of course. You know how we are around our moms, angels. But once we get away from them, we act crazy. And none of my siblings have worried my mother like I did. I was in that street, especially in that left rack time, man. I was in that street heavy. And then once I moved here, I was out the street for tops a year, and then I got back into the streets heavy. And she said she would only move here because I was moving here, because I had planned on straightening out my life, and it didn't, and it didn't.
Did
And
you meet your wife in Maryland or New York?
here,
Oh, okay.
what
So,
happened was, what happened was when I got here, and I realized the kind of place I was in. I was like, hey, I could do anything I want here. I can reinvent myself. So I realized that I had never really had a job. So I needed a job. I had a car payment to make, and I was staying with my sister. So long story short, a friend of mine offered to get me a job, and I wound up getting a job at Taco Bell.
really?
Yeah, so I'm working in Taco Bell, and I met my wife there. It's just, and she was she's such a beautiful girl and so outgoing and so shapely. I was like, wow, I didn't know they built white girls like this. So it wasn't my intent. I never tried to get at her, because when I met her she was engaged, and she wound up breaking up with her fiance, and we became close friends. But she liked me, and I didn't know that. And we started seeing each other, and what happened truthfully is she got pregnant, and we had Wes. And I was in the street, and I tried to share with her that, but when women get their mind fixed on something, the heart wants what the heart wants, and she wanted to be with me, and we were together for a while. Well, Karen got convicted and decided that she wanted to go back and give herself to the Lord. So she broke up with me and said she was giving herself back to the Lord, and then she came back 2 days later and said, we have to get married. I'm pregnant. So we got married, and it didn't change anything for me. I was still in the street, still acting crazy. Got her pregnant 2 more times, cheating on her, disappearing, not working. Then I was working. Then I was working and selling weed, or working and doing robberies, and it just
What were you robbing?
I robbed anything. I robbed gross storefronts. I'd rob other weed hustlers. I would rob, like, say, I had friends who lost their job or quit their job. They would give me the access to the building keys and the access to the alarms, and I would go and rob them. I rob a liquor store. I would empty the liquor truck and take all their liquor, Hennessy, and all that, and then sell them to the liquor stores. You name it. I robbed the hotel for all their music equipment. They used to do live music and entertainment. I robbed them for all that. You name it. I did a lot of robberies, and my last robbery is the one that got me incarcerated.
And what was that robbery?
It was an armed robbery. I was going to rob a store that my girlfriend worked in. It was an inside job, and it all went wrong. And that was one of the easiest robberies I had ever done, and that was the one that went wrong. And you know why it went wrong? Because a week earlier, I asked the Lord to come into my life by one of the pastors at church who was doing my income taxes. And he realized that I had jewelry on and a bunch of clothes, and I didn't make any money. So he asked me, he said, hey, Wes, how do you get all this clothes and money? And in my arrogance, I was like, what? I go rob places after the kids go to bed. I do robberies. And I went downstairs and I showed him all the clothes, because I just robbed the clothing store and I had over 300 pairs of pants. And he was like, hey, Wes, can we pray for a second? And in my arrogance, I was like, yeah, sure. He said, well, it doesn't really work unless you say these things. So he told me to ask the Lord into my life. So I said, all right. So I took his hand and I said, Lord, if there's any way that you can change my life or show me that you're real, I invite you to do so. Boom! Everything fell apart, and I wound up in prison, sentenced to 6 years.
No, I'm sitting here with my jaw dropped. Like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, because there was so much at stake. I had these little children that were watching me, that loved me, that wanted to be with me, and I ignored them. I had this wife that adored me, and I ignored them because I was more concerned with what was going on out in that street, what was going on with my boys, and I forsake my family. And God was like, yeah, I got work for this guy. I'm not taking him out, and I'm not letting him walk away. I got work, so I'm going to sit him down. So he sat me down. And the main thing was just listen to my wife cry, like, can you just come home? Can you just be with us? And then I came home, and even while I was incarcerated, there was so much love shown for me while I was incarcerated that I couldn't deny it. My wife used to come visit me. Your visits were 1 hour long. They allowed my wife to sit there for 2 hours or more until the point where she realized like she had to go. They would not call my visits over. When I'd go back after visits, they wouldn't even shake me down to check me to see if I had contraband. The office would sit and talk. How's the family? How's everything going? God had constantly showed me himself time after time, day after day, to the point where I was like, this is so, God's got work for me. I gotta go home. I gotta go home. And I came home, and these children jumped right on me. Anything you want to do, Dad? I was like, okay, let's do this rap music. My children were professional. When I would record them and they didn't like something, let's do the whole verse over. Yo, they learned over 120 Bible verses, chapters, whole scriptures of Bible, and could rap them, could sing them, could say them. We used to get around old people who don't like rap music. I'd be like, you don't like rap music? Okay, then don't listen to rap music. Watch this. I'd bring a kid over, and he would shoot a whole chapter of the Bible right off the top of his head. And they'd ask me, how'd you do that? You know what I said? God loves me so much that he gave me a bunch of children that they think I'm the greatest, and they would do anything I'd ask them. So I just taught them Bible verses, and they learned them.
Wow.
That's
and
why
they are really, really talented. And I'm not surprised at all. I mean, look who their father is. It just didn't surprise me. That's what I would expect. But they are amazing.
I contribute it all to God, and I say to myself every day that I'm blessed. I'm heavily blessed, and I want to stay here. So that's what I do. That's where I'm at. That's how I got here. Um, I made all the mistakes, and God said, I'm gonna clean them up. But you make sure you let people know who cleaned them up and who got you here, because you didn't get you here. You didn't bring you here. You didn't do these things. You didn't make these things happen. I did, and I'm the first one to let people know. He's the one. And I gotta hear it from the non-Christians. I gotta hear it from the atheists. I gotta hear it from those who believe that Jesus is some blue-eyed, blonde-haired white guy. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Study that word, and you let me know what you find out. But most of these people who don't study the word, so they just want to pick stuff up. I don't know. But life is good, and I'm happy. It's just But I make sure I don't take credit for it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I can't take credit for it. It's first off, it's God. Secondly, my wife is the one who is the glue to this family. I may be the pillars. I may be the strength that holds everything up. But my wife, she drove some very deep nails and used a lot of strong glue and held our family together. And she's the responsible one for this. I'm irresponsible. I don't even pay bills. I don't pay any of the bills. I don't touch the money. I make the money and I give it all to my wife and walk away.
Wow. Now listen, you got to start learning how to pay bills. And
I'm gonna die first, so I'm not worried about it.
How you know?
I smoke cigarettes.
Oh. Oh, okay.
I can't live my life without that woman, so I got to make sure I die first. And I'm 8 years older than my wife too, so.
Wow.
I'm hoping that kills me first. If all jokes aside, if something happened to my wife, life wouldn't be very good. You know what, Elena, you and I are complete opposites. You can live alone. You're happy like that. I will not. I don't do well alone. I don't. I'm a nasty whore, and without my constraints, I'm prone to wander. And now, because of the way that my life is constructed, if my wife doesn't feed me, I will forget to eat. If my wife's not here, I'll sleep on top of the covers. My wife is pretty much my better half. Yeah.
Wow. Woo-wee. Well, you know what? It's a beautiful thing. And this interview has turned into something really great. I'm sure a lot of people are going to enjoy this. Now, I might not have a lot of live viewership, but they do come back and watch when they have time. And I guess because you're going to get what you put into it. I don't go live in terms of having all this video equipment and a podcast and all of that, because I got other things to do. I ain't got time for all of that. So I really like to make videos as in terms of, this is something you're listening to as you're driving to work or cleaning your house or whatever, and I see that you have the more visual effect in your videos, which is wonderful because that's great. Tell me about that deer. Did you hit a deer?
Oh, wait, now that's not my footage, but the reason I posted it is because I've hit 4 deer. We've been up here in this house for 9-10 years. So it's a rural area. So because I've been leaving the house at 4 or 5 in the morning, excuse me, that's when the deer are out. So I've hit like 4 deer, but that's not my footage. I've grabbed that footage from other people hitting deer just to share my experience. Yeah, but I've hit a few deer, and I'm not happy with it. I don't want to hit a deer. I try not to run over animals. That's horrible, but that's what you do up here. You whack them.
Wow. Didn't it tear up your truck, your car?
Yep. But my son is a mechanic. My son fixes anything. So he comes in, any problem that's wrong with my truck, he'll fix it.
Wow.
And you know what's funny? Yes. At 22, he can fix anything that's wrong with my truck. And he never went to school for it. That's just That's, again, God's blessing on my life because I'm terrible with vehicles. All I know is how to gas them up and drive them. An oil change for me means that the oil ran out of my truck and I put more in. I'm terrible, terrible. Now, let me explain one more thing. Something I'm talking about, his name is Julian. Yo, he and I had the worst relationship. He used to buck, he used to fight. We had a terrible relationship until he graduated high school and he started working. Once he started working and we were getting up at the same time in the morning, standing next to each other in the kitchen making lunch, he realized who I was and what I was trying to teach him. And we've had the greatest relationship ever since. I hang out with him and my other son all the time. Like every Friday night, we're in front of the TV over at their apartment, eating pizza and watching movies. Not really pizza because I hate pizza, but it's a special kind of pizza with all the fixings on it. And that's the grace of God in my life. Like I have relationships with these kids like they're my friends and they're my kids.
And you know what? And I think that's a good thing. I often talk about it's not good being friends with your children until they get about 20, 25. That's when you become friends. But when you're rearing them, they're 9 years old and you're acting this is your best friend. No, they need boundaries.
What I always say is, yes, what I always say is at a certain point, we're the authority. Then we move into advisory. After a certain age, all we can do is advise. I'm not the authority no more. I'm not trying to tell you what to do. After like 18, 19, I've taught you everything I wanted you to know. There's really not a whole lot I can tell you now. So God bless. Remember what we taught you. Grow up to go out and be the people that we wanted you to be. And wow, I'm always in awe. Like I made real regular people, productive human beings. I can't believe it. Oh my God. Like they're regular men, no babies, mothers, no crime.
I don't know why you're so surprised. I'm not surprised.
I am.
I'm not surprised.
I'm always surprised that I have regular, good, normal people. I am.
I don't know. I guess you would be. But standing from the outside looking in, I'm just not surprised.
Well, I appreciate it. I'm glad that at some point in life, those who know me in the past look at me at that light. It makes it easier for me to be the person I am instead of acting like I was always some type of hardcore gangster somebody and I wasn't. So I'm glad that my earlier life projects upon my present life.
Yeah. But we all have a path that we walk through in life, and sometimes people walk on that path and they end up 6 feet under because they just wouldn't listen. Even when God sat them down, they still would not listen. Mm-hmm. You were never that type.
Well, I'm thankful. I'm thankful that he showed me mercy and gave me an opportunity. I really just felt like he's like, I got stuff for you to do, so you're just not going to get to. Because I have friends that are dead, friends that are in wheelchairs, friends that are serving. I got one friend now, he's serving 40 years and he's been in for 15. So I've been spared a great deal. But
how many friends have we lost in the past 2 weeks from East Elmhurst and Corona, from this coronavirus?
At least 20.
20 now?
Yeah.
I was up to 13. I guess I missed 7.
Yeah, there's a few. And I just got another phone call from Eric, who was telling me that he's fearful that there's going to be a food shortage. So he's like, Wes, you need to get your stuff in order, get you some dried beans and rice. And he's like, yo, I'm thinking, and he's one of my best friends for forever. I'm surprised you don't know Eric. You should know Eric.
Eric who?
The Puerto Rican guy I used to hang out. He used to be my DJ.
Vaguely, yeah.
But anyway, he has always been a very practical and down to earth, very smart dude. And he called me like, yo, I'm worried it's going to be a food shortage. And I'm like, if he says that, there might well be, I might have to hop on that. So
look, I've been preaching about this coming since Trump came in office. I've been warning people on my channel, and they can tell you, look, start stacking up on food, necessities, essentials, or whatever. I was in New York in June. I don't know if you know my best friend, Marguerite, but I was sitting in her yard with her in June. Okay. And all of a sudden, I just felt it. I felt it was just something in New York. And I turned to her, and this past June, I said, listen, start storing food, canned goods, make sure you got flashlights, batteries, da 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 da.
Okay.
Something's coming. I don't know what it is. Something's coming. I can feel it. You know what she said to me? She turned to me and said, you know you're getting old when you start talking about preparing for war. That's exactly what she said to me. And I said, okay, I guess she doesn't want to hear this. And look where we're at 10 months later. Aren't we in a war?
Yes.
War doesn't always mean bombs and
No,
bullets.
no, it does not. No, it does not. Wow. You know, we have to start listening to when people say stuff because you have to just consider it. And there's just so much garbage that this government has done that you can't just go, okay, whatever the government says. You cannot.
No, no, no. And I just went and gave my family here, I gave them $100 and told them, go buy $100 worth of chicken. I got a whole bunch of chicken in my deep freezer.
Yeah, send me $100 too. Thanks.
You need $100? I got you.
Yeah, we're in trying times, and you know, I pay attention and I do what I need to do, but I'm not going to live in fear, and I'm going to continue to do what it is that's necessary with the family. And we are over here, we're okay. The only person that's really struggling through this is my wife, because she's a runner, and she used to take kids on all kinds of trips, Niagara Falls, here and there for homeschooling, all the sports, because you know, with all these kids, we got cheerleading, we got lacrosse, we got soccer, we got football, and none of that's happening now. So my wife is actually, other than going to the store, my wife is actually trapped here. Now the kids, they're fine. There's 7 kids here. They get to play with each other. They get to go on the trampoline. We got a basketball court. We got a football field. We got a lacrosse field. We got all this stuff on the property. So the kids can run, ride bikes, do everything. But my wife is just stranded.
Wow. What's the grocery bill like for 7 kids?
I couldn't tell you. I
forgot. You don't deal with the bills.
I have no idea.
Give the money.
Again, that's why I feel about my wife. She makes everything work. Whatever money I get her, we are never out of food. We're never out of toilet paper. We're never out of detergent. When we go on trips, I don't worry about gas. Everything's paid for. The hotel's paid for. There's money to go. I don't mess with her. So I couldn't tell you. I don't touch anything. My main concern is get that money in the house. That's it. So when my wife says I need more money, that's when I turn around and I got to go get more money. Outside of that, I don't deal with anything. I'm not even allowed to clean around here. I try to wash a toilet or something and I get in trouble. I'm not allowed to do a whole lot. Now, I get in trouble because I don't do what I'm supposed to. Like hang up the new fire alarms, or I'm supposed to do certain stuff. I bluff, but other stuff I don't do with that. I have no financial responsibilities here other than bringing the money in. None.
Wow. Well, hey, that's your arrangement. I guess, you run the house and she runs the home.
Right.
You don't tell her how to run the home. She don't tell you how to run the house.
No. And with that regard, she has no issues. If she needs something done, it gets done. The children don't talk slick, don't disrespect, don't act crazy towards their moms ever once, never do. And it's transitioned to when they're older. The adults, my adult kids, love their mom to death. Treat her like a queen. Anything she wants, needs, or asks for, it's on the way. My other 2 sons showed up here the other day at like 9 o'clock at night just to bring us some masks because she didn't have any.
Wow.
Yeah, I am a heavy advocate for do as what your mom says and treat her like the jewel she is. I don't care what happens in life, whether I die or I'm alive, your mother does not go into a nursing home. You take care of her as well as she took care of you until her eyes close.
Yeah.
I don't care what happens to me. I can get my own respect. If I got dementia, I won't even know I'm in the nursing home. You can send me. Your mom doesn't go. Now, that woman deserves all that she gets from this family, because there would not be a family if it wasn't for her. Because I would have walked away.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, this has been a very interesting conversation. Hopefully we can collaborate and do some things. I don't know. You're creative. We'll figure out something, or just come in, chit chat, and talk about life. And I'm sure you have enlightened and educated a lot of people who are listening now and who are going to listen in the future. Your testimony is amazing.
Thank you.
It is amazing.
Well, I'm gonna be honest. I'm thankful for people such as yourself who can constantly remind me of the good things that I did and the kind of person that I was in the past, to make me remember that I wasn't always just a self-centered idiot running the streets. Um, I've always wondered what happened to you when we weren't in touch, and it's just good to talk to you. So, any other time you want to chit chat and talk, feel free. I thank you for giving me exposure and checking out my channel. I'm thankful for that, because I just want to leave a legacy of fun and happiness.
And hey, and I want to help you do that. And you know, I try to explain to people all the time about East Elmhurst and what type of community it was, and how we are all family. And it's hundreds of us.
Yes.
And there are friendships that have been established from the age of 3 years old, and these people are in their 60s, and they're still friends. You know, and I realize that I don't know. You would think that's how all neighborhoods are, but not so.
No.
Not so.
No.
So we always looking out for each other. You know, we are losing so many what I call family, because at this point we've known each other all our lives with family.
Yes.
So we are losing people we spent so much time with.
Yeah.
So many people that was just a great part of our childhood memories. If we just want to have a giggle, we've lost people that one of the best times we've ever had in our life was with that person.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just really hard. And then we can't even get up there. They can't even have a service.
Yeah.
Not even making it all. But then again, you know how many times I'd be going back and forth to New York for a funeral?
Yeah.
If they were having them?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's getting late, and we got to be mindful that the time that we have is precious. Share it, use it wisely, and that's where I'm at, because I feel it when especially when we're getting old, and all the actors and actresses and all the people we used to watch when we were young are all dead. You're like, wow.
Like Willona.
And then you listen to the music that they listen to, and you're like, wow, I'm getting old, because this music is terrible. You listen to this rap music now, I'm like, where'd you get that from? That's not what we are. But I'm sure that's what our parents thought when we were coming up. So I'm like,
not my parents. My parents listened to the music that we listened to, and I'm talking about my parents were born in the 1920s. So they always moved with the musical time and the different genres. My father played the guitar, so he appreciated all types of music. And when the disco age came in, they got with the disco. Initially rap, like the early Run DMC and all of that, Curtis Blow, it took a little bit for them to get used to, but it didn't take long for them to enjoy hip hop.
Yeah.
So
my kids over here rocking it.
Yeah, but that tells me that the hip hop today is really garbage.
Yes.
Because I want to continue to appreciate it. I just can't, because it's garbage.
It's garbage. Yeah. Yep. My kids are over here rocking out to Run DMC, and I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. See? And who would have ever thought that we would see hip hop artists wearing dresses?
It's weird. It's all, I've abandoned it. I'm like, listen, until there's another turnaround to another direction, just listen to the old school like we've always done, and just continue to move forward. Because you listen to this rap now, you just sit there in awe. And
you know what? It's absent of social consciousness. Mm-hmm. Every theme in every song is drugs, sex, and what's the other thing they do? Drugs, sex, and something else. about? Oh, killing, violence.
Oh,
Yeah, that too.
oh, every rapper's a stone cold killer and makes $1 billion a week. I'm out. I said, you guys don't party no more without getting wasted and shooting somebody? Forget it then, man. And I was like, listen, kids, listen to this music. If you listen to this music, you don't have to worry about getting in trouble. When you're an adult, you can do whatever you want. But in my house, listen to this music. It'll keep you from getting out of trouble. I mean, keep you from getting in trouble because I don't want to hear that garbage. I need a Rolex so I can dance better. Okay.
Yeah, so you know, I try to get into it. I try to listen to it, and I just can't. And I'm not going to chalk it up to me getting old. No, it's just me knowing lyrical talent and music that needs to say something that's going to help us all become better people, even if it's in a minute way.
Yep.
That's what art is supposed to be about.
Yep, exactly. And they're not. They're not. It's about that cash race. It's about making as much money as I can before this is too late. And that's the way the culture's set up. That's where they want us to focus. They don't want to focus on social consciousness. They don't want to focus on your children, your family. They want to focus on monetary gain, and that's where they go.
Yeah. And didn't you notice how much better we started doing in the 80s when we had, you know, Kid and Play Out? You know, MC Hammer.
Yeah, they were trying. Public Enemy was trying to raise cultural awareness. We had groups that would stay into certain topics and trying to move the direction of rap to a more positive state. Fresh Prince came out and he didn't curse in none of his songs and got a Grammy. You figured that would have followed suit? No.
Yeah. And we as a people were moving forward, especially in our generation. We started with the Cosby Show in a different world.
Yeah, where's Cosby now?
Good Lord.
How they railroad that man like that? 30 years ago? I don't care what he did 30 years ago. You should at least have some proof he did it.
Yep.
I didn't say he did it or not, but how you going to lock a man up because it's just a hearsay? Erase his memory, all those colleges that he gave money. I'd have been suing them right now. Like, give me my money back. You took my name off the place. You erased me. Give me my money back.
Yep.
But again, I'm not getting into all that. I'm you know, there's just so much weirdness going on. Trump is the first black president. What? How do you? And because of what he did and the way he says things.
Wow. What does you said your wife is a Republican? Does she still support Trump?
No. She didn't vote for Trump.
Oh, she didn't. Okay, I thought because she was a Republican and still didn't vote for him. Wow.
No.
Wow.
Nope. And again, see, so another thing I would share with you is that my wife and I are complete opposites. Complete, total opposites.
So she's a Republican and you're a Democrat.
Mm-hmm.
Explain that. How does that work under the same roof?
We agree to disagree. It's not
just that simple.
It's not, huh?
It's just that simple.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It doesn't change who we are and what we're doing together, what we built, what we create, what we continue to move towards. Nah. My wife and I are totally different. If I'm under the cover, she's on top. If it's burning hot outside, I love it, and she's got to get out of the heat. She exercises regularly. I do not. I smoke. She does not. My wife doesn't drink. My wife doesn't curse. She's white. I'm black. We could keep going. We only have certain things that we have in common. You know, Christianity, the rearing of our children, the fact that we love each other deeply, and that we're in this for life. Period. And those things outweigh everything else. So,
well, what more do you need after that? What more do you need to make it work?
Nothing. So one of the main things that my wife had instituted in our relationship is there is no discussion of divorce or separation. That is not an option. And I learned that from her. It's not an option. Don't talk about it. And then I realized it's not an option. We don't talk about it. Even if we argue, we're sleeping in the same bed. Even if we argue, we're still going to be in the same dinner table, and we're still going to be talking on the phone, and I'm still going to tell her I love her in the morning, and it's just doesn't matter.
Let me ask you something. Like after your incarceration, when you realize, okay, Lord, I hear you. And you argued with your wife over whatever you argued about. My question is, the arguments you have now these days, are they more frequent, less frequent, and are you arguing about the same things, or have the arguments changed?
They're very few arguments. It's more of a regular discussion, and they're 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 very little arguments. Disagreement.
Yeah.
I would have to consider them disagreements, and because I've chose to humble myself,
Mm-hmm.
they're even less. 90% of 90% of whatever was wrong in our relationship was me, because I am not humble, nor was I taught how to conduct myself in a relationship. So
Right.
I've now that I am forced to sit back and check myself. So the arguments are there isn't arguments anymore. There's a disagreement, and then it forces me, and my wife is a peacemaker, so she'll always try to check and see if there's something that she needs to do. But I'm gonna go back and go, okay, I was wrong about something, or yeah, I didn't make the right decision. Now it doesn't happen instantaneously because I'm arrogant and mean. So we may have a disagreement, but I'll go back and I'll come back like, okay, I was wrong. I messed that up. And my wife is quick to go, it's fine. I love you. Bye. And be done. So I'm learning from that. Like if my wife has made me mad and she comes back and she says she's sorry, I got to let it go. So as soon as she says, I'm sorry, all's forgiven. It's not a problem. I'm done. And the behavior and action of that takes over to the point where now that's how you actually function and feel. So we have disagreements all the time. And I'm just like, okay, well, that's how you feel. That's how you feel. If I have to change what I do, I'll change it.
Honey, I'm so glad it has worked for you and it continues to work. I'm so glad you changed your life around. The only request I have is that you really shouldn't be so hard on yourself. It just seems to me like you're so hard on yourself.
I have to be. I have to be. If I don't, I will gain in my arrogance and I would start slowly turn back to where I am. I need to be reminded constantly that the Lord died on that cross for my sins. I have to be reminded constantly that he bailed me out of prison and brought me back to my family. I have to remind myself of that constantly. let's see, I got incarcerated when I was 33. I spent 33 years living in my own garbage. So I have to spend at least another half getting myself out of it so that I can continuously live in the place that I am. I have to be hard on myself. I don't live like that. It just comes out in these conversations.
Right.
Mhm.
Gotcha.
Yeah. If you see how I lived it out in life, it would be through the videos you watch and the stuff you see on Facebook. That's how we live our life. It's fun. It's good. And it has its share of struggles, but we make fun of that. We joke about that. When things get funky around here, my wife and I will make a joke out of it. We'll laugh about it, you know. Oh, well, quarantine, oh, well. We have to make light of it. I don't want my children walking around scared in life, won't take a plane because it might blow up, won't go here because if you're going to die, then if you're a Christian, you're going to see Jesus.
So what is there to fear?
What is there to fear? I'm not saying don't be precautioned. I'm not saying ignore what's being told because the Bible teaches us listen to the authorities. So that don't mean you got to believe everything they say. It's just that we'll do what we're called. So we'll wear a mask. We'll stay quarantined. But I don't trust where that quarantine came from. I don't trust where the vaccines come from. I don't trust 9/11. I don't trust the man who enslaved me and killed off the Indian people. But I trust God. And God says, do what I ask you to do so you can be blameless. So when you come before me, I can usher you into my kingdom. Okay, I can live with that. I can live with that. Because when I live according to his word, look at the fruit I've got. Look at the fruit that's bared in my life. And I don't need my experience to share with other people to show God's goodness. Every breath you breathe and every beat of your heart is due to God's goodness, whether you believe in him or not. You don't have to make believe in him for him to be real.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I'm at. What's in the street? Anyway, so that's where I'm at. And so I may be a little hard on myself, but I do it because I need it. I need it. I need
I
it.
understand
And nobody else is going to do it either. Nobody else is going to be hard on me because I've been told, and you're going to love this, I've been told I'm pretty intimidating. And I don't know why. People I know, a lot of people I know, like a lot of the kids that my children bring over, they say they're afraid of me. They said I'm intimidating. I know adults that won't say stuff to my face. They'll go to Karen or somebody else close to me to tell me because they say I'm intimidating. And I've come to realize why. So you're like this because of where we're from, New York. You know, when you traveled out of East Elmhurst and you're in the city, you always had a little mean mug. So when I'm deep in thought or I'm not paying attention, I look like this.
Mm-hmm.
So people are like, yeah, he's from New York, and you know, the way I dress, they're like, yeah, he's a thug. He might do something, and I'm not. The minute you talk to me, I go from this to what? What are we doing? But if you don't talk to me, all you see is this.
Right.
So.
Hey, I was told as early as last week that I'm aggressive.
And they take the word aggressive, but what they really mean is passionate.
Nah, I didn't think they meant that. I think the code word for the aggression is or aggression is a code word for like savage.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Well, I don't view you as savage. I view you as passionate. When you believe what you're thinking about, what you're talking about, it comes across as passionate.
Yeah, but that's not how it came from this person.
Well, they don't know you very well.
No, and that's the first anybody had ever described me as aggressive.
Gotcha.
Really? Okay. These code words, boy, they something else.
Yeah.
I just give them a side eye.
Yeah.
But one last question before we go. What do you think is the origin of the coronavirus? Did it originate in Corona, New York, our neighboring town, the East Elmhurst? What do you think?
It was created in Mexico at the Corona beer place.
Really?
No.
I know.
I'm so full of distrust that I don't know, because somebody showed me that the coronavirus is on the back of a Lysol can. So I don't trust. So I think that men created it, and I think men released it to keep population control down, to weed out some of the elderly, to weed out some of the ones with health issues, the ones that were on health issues and getting a pension, getting money. If we can kill a lot of them off, it'll free up some money, free up some positions. I think it's a part of population control. I just don't trust that 9/11. Come on, man. The buildings fell from the bottom, even though they got hit up high by planes. Did we landed on the moon? You ever looked at that footage?
There was wind blowing the flag.
Come on. The stuff that they've done. Look what they did to the Native Americans. Look at what, and again, one more thing. I'm not going to, white people. That's not my thing. It's man. It's the depravity of man. Depravity of man. And I just don't. So again, I'm thankful that I have the Bible to believe and trust. So that way, whatever happens here, oh well. I'm going to honor God so that way when I die and I go before the Lord, I can say, hey, I trusted you. I believed in you. Because the men around here, I don't know what they're doing. That coronavirus, among others, AIDS, SARS. So all I would ask before we go is that you remain safe. Wear your mask, protect yourself, because we need to. But question everything.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing, and I just don't feel good about this, and it's not going to get any better before it gets worse. And we might be living like this for 2 years,
Yes.
or maybe for the rest of our days.
Yes.
To tell you the truth. I mean, you got people like Bill Gates involved, and you got powerful, rich, powerful men that sit around and collaborate and design things. You know, how can we control the world with technology?
Yep.
Well, what if we injected a virus and
Yep.
we quarantined everyone in their houses? Well, that gives us access to the streets.
Yep.
To do things, you know.
Yep.
You know, there's certain men that love to play God.
Absolutely. Oh, most men want to play God. And the worst part that you learn is that the Gates family were responsible for Planned Parenthood and countless other things that have been created and implemented into our society. It's amazing. If you ever ask Alexa, you know that stupid little thing that you talk to and it plays back, ask Alexa where the coronavirus comes. It'll tell you. It'll
What
say,
does she say?
oh, it says it was created in a laboratory and planned to be released on population. Well, why would Alexa say that? Now, I don't trust Alexa anything, but where'd that come from? Yeah. Ask Alexa. You can ask the computers. You can ask a bunch of different, voice activated things. Where coronavirus come from, and it'll tell you it's a man-made virus set to be released on the public in 2020 to help population control and to help the government set other things in place like 5G that makes you sick and all kind of stuff. Like, yeah, it's creepy, and that's why I say, you know what? You better enjoy your life as much as you can, because no matter what this world does, your days are numbered regardless. We're all going to die. So you better find reasons to enjoy. Enjoy your family, enjoy your friends, enjoy your weather, your candy, your ice cream, whatever it is. Enjoy it.
Yeah. Well, before I end this, I'm going to end this in prayer.
Yeah.
And I don't know why I'm going this route, but you know, when the Lord says pray, you got to pray.
Amen.
So, Father, in the name of Jesus, Lord, I just thank you so much for this interview. I thank you for Wes and his wife and his children. Oh my God, so much wisdom he espoused in this interview. And I know it was only you who brought us together. In the name of Jesus, every listener, whether they are listening now or in the future, oh God, touch them from the crown of their heads to the soles of their feet. Bless them and their family, oh God. Give them wisdom. Speak to them. Direct them in order to keep themselves safe, oh God, in the name of Jesus. Let them all turn to you if they don't know you yet, oh God. In the name of Jesus, let every head bow and every mouth confess that you are the Lord, in the name of Jesus. And Lord, I thank you for each and every individual, each and every listener. Thank you for the path that you have made happen that I would cross with my friends, in the name of Jesus. Lord, you know how much I love my friends. I consider my friends my family, oh God. And I just want to give you the praise, the glory, and the honor for everything that you have done in my life, Wes's life, his children's life, his wife's life, and every listener and every individual who's going to watch this video, oh God. Guide them, bind them with the power of the Holy Ghost, fill them, deliver them, heal them, keep them safe. In the name of Jesus, amen.
Amen. It was a pleasure talking to you.
All right, and we probably can do this again soon. We'll come up with a topic and
No. The next time we do this again, I'm gonna let my wife sit here and talk to you.
yes, because she needs to teach us about homeschooling and all of that stuff and how to budget and manage a household. Because I know too many women can't manage a household with 2 kids.
Gotcha. Yeah, you want to talk to her because she does it for all of us. So, yep.
Yes. Oh, and it's going to be my pleasure to meet old Miss Karen.
Yep,
I've seen her on Facebook, chatted with her here and there, but you know, I always wanted to get to know her as much as I've known you, you know?
She's an absolute joy.
Yeah, I bet. I can't wait to meet her. So we're going to do this soon.
Okay.
All right. Thanks a lot, Wes. And thank you, everybody who listened. And you'll be seeing Wes a lot. For some reason, I can't get on my YouTube channel. So I have put Wes's YouTube channel. You can see it. Click on it, subscribe, like, share, and go tell some friends, okay? And have them subscribe. All right, I'll catch you later. Thanks, Wes. Peace.